is the video on how to grind combs on the grinder with our Expert Pendulum. First of all, we make sure that the grinder's discs are on and the nuts are up tight by pushing the discs backwards and forwards. We've set our grinder up so that the heel of the comb is touching the grinder first and the tips are a match thickness off. And we've set the length of the pendulum so that we're finishing off on the radius of the disc. And I'm going to hold my pendulum with my thumb slightly towards the nut, because more emery goes past the outside teeth than what they do the inside teeth, because this emery gets smaller as we come to the center. So I'm going to put a little bit more weight towards the inside, shift it about 2 mil towards the inside. And then when I stand, I'm going to put this hand up here that holds me square to the disc and then keeps the weight distributed more evenly over the comb, and the comb will then come down flat. So when we're grinding, we want to first of all check that there's no bubbles in the emery. If you tap the emery, if you hear a hollow sound, it means that there's a bubble under there. If there's a bubble under there, you can't grind on it, because where the bubble is, the emery is going to be higher and it's going to cause the teeth not to end up in the one plane. So any bubbles, can't grind on it. Check that. Check that the outside edge is smooth. We're going to hang 2 to 3 teeth off the side of the disc here. So we want the edge of the disc to be smooth. Check that you can come in and hit the washer. If you can't hit the washer, take the nut off, put a few more washers on it, a couple off your clamp plate or something, a couple more washers on it, and do the nut up so that you can come in and hit the washer. When we land the comb, we want to land it like a duck on the pond. Land it, come in, hit the washer, come out 2 to 3 teeth, come in, hit the washer, till such time as we think it's sharp. Once we think it's sharp, come out to where we set the length of the pendulum and then snap it off. You can go as fast as you like. Remember, it's just the time on the emery, it doesn't matter how fast you go, but I prefer you go slow. So it's the time on the emery, and then on the last stroke, come out slowly to where you set the length of your pendulum and snap it off. How much pressure do you use? You can't really use too much pressure, but you can use not enough. That's a pretty big range, isn't it? So, but if you're pushing really lightly, what can happen is that the comb can bounce around on the disc. It'll pivot about the pendulum face and it'll grind from the tip and the bottom, and you'll end up with a convex instead of a concave. So we want enough pressure so that the pendulum, the comb and the emery all feel as one, so there's no movement between them. So once there's no movement between them, you're right, you can go from there to then add as much as you like, but use the same pressure all the time that you're grinding all the time, and come out to where you set the length of the pendulum and take it off. Don't change your pressure once you come out. Same pressure all the time, out and then off. Put my safety goggles on. Make sure I've got my comb pendulum. And away we go. And so on. That's it really. A couple of basic rules. Make sure there's no bubbles. Make sure that your outside edge of your emery is smooth. Make sure you use all of the emery. Come out slowly to where you set the length of the pendulum on the last stroke and snap it off. If there's no sparks coming, especially when you're on your last stroke, if you come out to where you set the length of the pendulum, there's no sparks coming from somewhere, snap it off quicker. If there's no sparks coming from somewhere, that means that where the sparks are coming from, those teeth are getting ground away because there's sparks coming off them, and the other teeth aren't getting ground away. So you need all the teeth in the one plane. All the teeth in the one plane means you need less tension. Check that it's sharp. Remember, 80% of it's, is it sharp? I keep saying it, but it's true. And we're looking for that extra 20% with our expert pendulum, and that's how you achieve it. Check that it's sharp, and away you go. Check out the website, that'll tell you that, and good shearing.